Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about Wish stock and Contextlogic as a company. We will go over Wish stock price targets and Wish stock price predictions. Then we will touch on Wish stock news pertaining to how a former Google executive will be joining the Contextlogic team. We will also discuss if $10 a share for Contextlogic stock is a good price to buy it at, and lastly, we will determine what the stock's future growth potential will look like. Go and press the like button right now for more stock market news updates. Comment below your price predictions for Wish stock. Turn on subscription notifications if you are new, and now let's make you some free money with Webull. Webull is a free brokerage app where you can buy and sell stocks, options, and cryptocurrencies. But right now, you can get 2 free stocks with Webull. You can get the first free stock, which can be worth anywhere from $2 to $250 for just creating an account. And you can get a second free stock, which can be worth up to $1,600 if you invest $100 or more on your first deposit. You will have a 1 in 100 chance of getting stocks like Facebook, Starbucks, or Snapchat, and you have a 1 in 50 chance of getting stocks like Google or Procter & Gamble. To get this offer, just press on the link in my description box down below, but do it quickly because this offer will not last forever. And without further ado, let's get into today's stories. Recently, this discount e-commerce player has been in the headlines because many retail investors have been speculating about Wish stock on many social media platforms. Some investors think of Contextlogic stock as an undervalued growth play, while other investors seem to like the stock because it has the potential to short squeeze if its 8.5% short interest continues to climb higher. Now, I personally side with the investors that think this is an undervalued growth play, but don't take my opinion for it. Let's go into the data that actually supports this hypothesis. Recently, Contextlogic has appointed a new chief product officer, which is effective immediately, and the company is currently working on expanding its product lines and finding new ways to increase their revenue streams. The best part about the new chief product officer is that he has experience working for Alphabet, which is the parent company to Google, and he worked for Alphabet at an executive level, so with his leadership, Contextlogic is sure to prosper. The new CPO will surely play a major role in the success of Wish by developing new innovative products that will create new revenue streams for the company. Wish is a relatively new player in the extremely competitive e-commerce space, and with a chief product officer of this caliber on their side, this is exactly what the company needs. Many retail stock traders made a lot of money off of Wish stock because the stock IPO'd at $24 a share, then it jumped to around $30 per stock when retail investors piled into the stock to ride up the wave of momentum. However, after the initial momentum ended, the stock plummeted downward to around $7.50. Currently, however, the stock trades at about $10 a share. So is this a good price to get back into the stock or even initially invest into the stock? Now, before we answer that, let's first focus on if Wish will short squeeze or not. Considering the fact that many Reddit traders have largely given up on the stock, or they have already taken profits, paired with the fact that the short interest is not that impressive, so a short squeeze is probably not in the cards for this stock, or at least it's not in the cards anytime soon. Wish stock has also seen its volume fall dramatically, so it's not surprising that the stock is moving very slow these last couple days. Fundamentally, the main concern for the company is their profit margins. Currently, Contextlogic is growing very quickly, but the margins need to also increase more. According to analysts, Contextlogic will double their 2018 revenues, which would mean that this year they would make $3.2 billion worth of revenue. Their revenue is set to rise all the way up to $4.5 billion in 2023, so the growth is really nice, and with a market capitalization of less than $6 billion, the shares look like a very attractive buying opportunity right now. However, Contextlogic is losing money, even though their last quarter they made $773 million of revenue, which would represent a 76% increase from the same quarter of last year. The problem is that their EBITDA is a loss of $79 million for the quarter, with a negative cash flow of $354 million. Since their IPO, the Wish stock price is down about 60%, and at the current $10 share price, this would put Wish stock at only 2 times current sales, which is a great bargain. Contextlogic is rapidly developing, and it's headed towards profitability right now, which makes it a great investment for growth stock investors who are looking for a great deal. This rapid development and improvement is clearly seen by their gross margins growing by 53% year over year. So as the company continues to improve, the stock price will eventually catch on to this and rally. However, there is still risk here if you invest into Wish stock, so let's compare Contextlogic to other companies that are similar to it and revolve around a similar space, so it can help us determine just how good of a deal Contextlogic stock really is right now. Using 2022 forecasts, Wish stock will have a forward price to sales multiple of only 1.57 times, which is very cheap, and it's unlikely to stay this way forever. To put just how cheap Contextlogic stock is right now, let's compare it to some of Contextlogic's peers to determine their PS multiple. For starters, Stitch Fix has a forward PS multiple for 2022 of 2.39, which is not as cheap as Wish stock, even though they have a similar market cap of around $6.46 billion. Revolve Group has a forward 2022 PS multiple of 5.1, which means that investors are paying a more expensive stock price when compared to that company's current sales. The market cap is again similar, coming in at $5.12 billion. Next, we have Overstock.com and Stamps.com, which have forward PS multiples of 4.63 and 6.8 respectively, which means that Wish is the cheapest buy right now. However, PS multiples are a double-edged sword, because this can also signify that investors are willing to pay more for a stock now because of the future revenue growth that those stocks can attain. According to analysts, they say that anything below $12 is a fair price to pay for Wish stock, because it has price targets anywhere between $12, $17.11, and all the way up to $24 over the next 12 months. So Wish stock can more than double in the next 12 months, which would equate to a 100% increase in a relatively short amount of time. But what do you think Wish stock will be worth next year? Remember to like this video right now, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next YT video.